up, you guys? It's your boy Gary, the gadget guy, the gadget dad, the gadget father, husband, and all that good stuff. I know you noticed as I was walking up, this little guy, a lot more exciting than those guys up top there, have to tell you. So anyway, I've decided to upgrade my solar, and I'm leaving the Harbor Freight equipment. Well, I'm not letting it go because I love what I started with, but I did make the step up to Renogy. A lot more bells and whistles. I've got Bluetooth to check out what's going on in my shed without me having to walk out here. I can make sure that my battery is charging, see what the charge rates are. I have a Renogy Charge Controller, just a 20 amp, 12 volt, because I don't need this system for backup power in my home and all that. This is just a small system to charge my devices, as you know from my previous video. 1000 watt 12 volt inverter, one AC plug, which is sufficient to me. I'm just run a little surge protector off of that and keep it moving, or you know, one of these doodads right here, which has my Alexa and one of my cameras plugged in. Yes, I have Alexa in my shed. I don't want to miss my wife announcing dinner, and she does say blank blank announce dinner is ready, so I'll know when to leave the shed. Other than that, I'll stay out here forever. So back to that. Have your power switch. It has a feature on it that you can do where it's not using much power, it shuts off. I don't use that because my Alexa and my camera don't pull enough power to keep it running. It'll shut off, so I leave that feature off and just leave it on. Doesn't even drain much. My battery pretty much stays at 99.1%, I'm sorry, even when it's not sunny, not super sunny. So this guy down here is a tub that I bought from Lowe's, Home Depot, Harbor Freight, one of those people. But what I did, I have the Renogy 200 amp hour lithium ion phosphate battery here. And as you can see, I have lined this tub with something to help it retain some of the heat. I do have photos and pictures I'll post in this video to show you how I did that, what process I used to get this done. In the back there, here, you'll see that I cut a little hole out to run the wires out the back to make it nice and neat. Up here is a switch that I installed for, guess what? Won't believe it. A heater. I used one of those RV tank heaters and put under the battery, and because I spent so much on the battery, I didn't want anything sticking to it. So I took the liberty of sticking it to a small piece of, I think it was like a roofing tin, a small sheet of it, and I put it on that way to also balance out the heat, so it won't just be in one spot on the battery. And it seems to be working pretty good. I can pull up the specs right now of my battery, and even when it's colder outside, my battery is usually around 60 degrees. It works out pretty good. This charge controller also has a battery lead that comes out of it. I'm sorry, a temperature lead that comes out of it, and that's right here. But from my research, I don't need it for lithium ion. I still have it hooked up just so that I can have two sources of temperature, just in case the battery temperature seems to be off. I can still get a gauge about how hot it is and how cold it is inside the shed. Other than that, this system is everything. A lot of power, a lot of backup. You gotta think I'm going from a 35 amp hour sealed lead acid battery to a 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate, or LiPo as they've been saying. You see, I built a little shelf here to hold my battery box. Didn't want it to sit too far from the actual inverter because that's more cable, and that's 4-gauge cable right here, if you can't tell. That stuff is expensive. I did not know wire was as expensive as it is. So what I'm getting ready to do now is gonna come into the wall with the new solar panel. That panel that you saw outside produces 100 watts by itself, and the ones on top was a 100-watt panel kit, which was 25 watts each. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, I barely get 20 watts out of those total. So with the one that's still on the ground, I'm getting 100. Most of the time it brings out about 90 watts by itself. The average is about 80, 85. So what I'm going to do is I'll double that one, and I may just keep those others and put them on the ground, and whatever, put them on a pole mount and spin them around and get the better sun for them and see how that works out. I also bought some other things that I want to hook into my solar system or integrate into my solar system. I'm trying to use some better YouTube words. I want to integrate into my system is a source for when I don't have that much sunlight. I want to be able to charge my batteries using my generator. Of course, there's a Harbor Freight generator. I got an inverter generator as well. It's a Harbor Freight inverter generator too. So I bought this little thing. Let me show you. Bam. So I'll mount this outside the wall, just outside the wall here, under the battery box, in an inconspicuous place, of course. And then this part will be on the inside of the wall, and I can plug in, looks like 2 different receptacles to it, which I won't need but one. And that will be going to, hold on. I want to show you everything, but I can't hold my own excitement. I want y'all to see all this other mess I just pulled down. All right. None other than this. What is this, you ask? It's this. Can you see that? Focus. Oh no, I'm in the wrong mode of my camera, so I'll read it to you. It's a LiPo battery charger. It's made specifically for them, from what they say on the sales ads. And it works out pretty well though. I plugged it into the charger, into my extension cord running from the house one day, because we had not received any sun for about 4 days. It was just clouds, snow, Atlanta snow, and rain. So finally I ordered this from Amazon. It came in. I can't wait to mount it in a more permanent position. It's got a little weight to it, but this is gonna work out real nice. I'll be able to charge up or top off my batteries when the sunlight is giving me the blues. Anyway, on to the next thing. With all this electricity and DIY projects I'm trying to set up in this shed, I figured it made sense to have this little guy. It's just the First Alert fire spray. I've never seen it before, but when I go to Home Depot and I have a gift card from Christmas, this is the type of stuff I buy with it, so I won't feel like I wasted my own money. So that's how you do that. If you want something and you don't want to pay for it, use a gift card that you got. You guys, I think I may be a little bit over obsessed. Is that a phrase? Is that correct? Obsessed is already over the top, right? Okay, so I think I'm a little obsessed, or a lot obsessed with solar. I just want to know more about it. I want to do more with it. Oh, did I tell y'all about this though? So this is a fuse I bought for the charge controller. I do have one already on the power inverter. I got that one, just came in, so that I can add it to the positive side of the charge controller to protect that as well, because that Renogy stuff, no one said it's cheap. So once I get the backup power charger set up, I'll go ahead and change that out. Once I take things loose, I don't want to have to keep taking things loose every other day or every time I get something new, so I try to do it all at one time. Don't get me wrong, I will not just throw away my Harbor Freight. Maybe once I get enough followers, I can give it to someone. Is that a sign of old age or what? Now, don't get it twisted. I am not saying anything negative about my Harbor Freight system. I just outgrew it. And what I'll do is, I'm not going to throw it away, but maybe if I get enough followers in the near future, I'll just do like a little giveaway and give them the whole setup. Yes, it's not as expensive, so maybe they won't even want it, but hey, a free startup kit, you can't beat it. Charge controller, battery, and solar panels. And maybe these solar panels I have will work better when I take them down and I can actually angle them. See, they aren't, the new one is a monocrystalline, and so it's a little bit different. I gotta hold this camera right. It's a little bit different, a better technology than the previous ones that Harbor Freight sold. So y'all can talk about Harbor Freight if you want to. They got me started, and about 50% of the things in my shed come from Harbor Freight. Love them. Cheap. Not cheap, but affordable. Remember, I'm working on my wording. Affordable, cost effective, pretty good tools. Except for that Ryobi stuff I got there. You see the Hercules? Harbor Freight. Can't beat it. Had that thing forever. Anyway, I definitely appreciate you guys coming and checking out my page again. I'm gonna log out. The next thing I want to talk to you all about is my Akara security system. Yes, my shed has a little security system on it because I want to know if someone jumps my fence or if my wife and kids decide to come into my shed when I'm not home. There's no reason to be out here. This is a man's world. You feel me?